In 2025, Dubai proudly stood at the pinnacle of the world with a record 19.59 million international visitors. But less than 12 months later, a nightmare scenario completely erased that glory. Can you believe it? The hotel occupancy rate that once reached 80.7% has now plummeted to a mere 10%. Dubai International Airport, the heart of global aviation, witnessed a 66% drop in passenger numbers in just 1 month. No longer just numbers on paper, a massive capital flight is underway as the ultra-wealthy begin to withdraw the $63 billion they had previously invested here. The safe havens that were once the desire of all humanity are now just soulless shells. Why did an economic model that seemed unbreakable disintegrate so quickly? Which name will be the first to collapse? Let's take a look at the harsh reality behind 12 iconic landmarks that are turning into urban prairie wastelands in the heart of the desert. 828 meters. In military circles, this height is no longer an architectural wonder but a curse. With the largest radar cross-section in the civilian sector, the Burj Khalifa in 2026 officially abandoned its role as a symbol of prosperity to become a massive bulletproof shield made of steel and glass. Imagine yourself standing at the top observation deck on the 148th floor. Once a place where tourists queued for hours to touch the clouds, it is now just an empty space filled with unease. Why? Because the missile warning time in downtown is only a mere 3 to 5 minutes. No one wants to spend hundreds of dollars to buy a ticket to stand atop a potential military target where the UAE's air defense system has to roar continuously to intercept threats in the stratosphere. It's ridiculous that we spend billions of dollars to build a structure that can withstand the most severe earthquakes. Yet we are powerless to watch it tremble from debris falling from the sky. The million-dollar view, the most valuable asset of this tower, is now replaced by thick columns of black smoke rising from the strategic infrastructure area of Jebel Ali. When the feeling of absolute safety evaporated, the Burj Khalifa brand also vanished along with that smoke. Retail and service revenues at the base of the tower have come to a complete standstill. The international elite are not just abandoning the penthouse apartments, they are fleeing along with their capital, leaving behind a gigantic white elephant that consumes millions of US dollars in operating costs each day without any corresponding revenue. This is the end of an era of growth based on borrowing stability. When the foundation of peace is shaken, even the most solid structures become mere monuments to human arrogance. We have been too arrogant to believe that height can obscure the geopolitical instability beneath our feet. Does soaring height mean anything when the only thing it brings you is a clearer view of the impending collapse? When safety disappears, is luxury the most magnificent death sentence? What do you think about this arrogance of Dubai? Can they restore trust when the downtown sky is no longer peaceful? Please leave your comments, but remember, if the highest peak is shaking, then the heart of consumption right beneath it cannot be stable either. If Dubai were a religion, then Dubai Mall would be its cathedral. But in March 2026, this sanctuary is cracking from within. A space that once welcomed over 100 million visitors each year, where the booth occupancy rate always reached an absolute 98%, is now just a huge air-conditioned warehouse waiting for the day its budget runs out. Look at these telling numbers. Pedestrian traffic has plummeted by more than 60% in just a few weeks of conflict. On Fashion Avenue, the battleground of powerful black cards, revenue has evaporated, directly contributing to the tens of billions of dollars in losses for the entire region. Flagship brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci are currently only operating at a standstill, not because they lack products, but because they lack life. The real issue lies here. When the luxury goods supply chain breaks down due to tightened airports and seaports combined with the disappearance of high-spending international customers, this perpetual engine begins to falter. The cost of operating electricity and water for a vast area in the desert is becoming an absurd financial burden. Even entertainment ecosystems like aquariums or ice rinks are eerily silent, resembling museums of a bygone consumer era. This is not just a recession, it is the end of the growth model based on tourist dollars over the past decade. The pressure to reduce rental prices is causing the financial system of the Emaar Group to crack, leading to a decline in stock value on the stock exchange. The consumer temple has now turned into a display space without worshippers. An empire built on excess will last how long when the most basic supplies are tightened? Have we been too mistaken in thinking that throwing money around can replace the belief in a stable future? What do you think? Is there anyone still in the mood to buy a $1,000 handbag when the future of this city is under a big question mark? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. But don't be in a hurry to leave, because the tragedy doesn't just stop at the closed stalls. Right outside the doors of this sanctuary, the water dances that once captivated millions now perform only for empty squares. Is there anything more tragic than a performance without an audience? The world's largest water dance system, which recently consumed millions of US dollars to upgrade its multi-sensory technology in 2025, is now performing the most meaningless moves in its history. From an economic standpoint, this is a disaster in risk management. While the energy supply in the Gulf is tightening and oil prices are dancing above the 10 mark, consuming thousands of cows of electricity and millions of gallons of water each night just to serve a silent waterfront square is an absurd act. The entire ecosystem of downtown Dubai is being dragged into a spiral of decline. Restaurants at Souk al-Bahar are closing en masse due to the lack of customers from the fountain. Emaar's effort to maintain business as usual has completely failed. The lively music blaring from the high-powered speakers could not drown out the atmosphere of fear from the fire interception streaks in the stratosphere. Worse yet, this complex pumping system is facing the risk of paralysis due to the disruption of the supply chain for maintenance components from the West. The symbol of prosperity now resembles a desperate SOS sent into the void, a testament to a system that has lost touch with geopolitical reality. Why do we still try to maintain the dazzling performances when the audience has left the stands? How long can art and entertainment survive in an environment where even the most basic right to safety has become a luxury? What do you think about Dubai's efforts to maintain this facade? Is it the pride of an empire or just the deadlock of a machine that doesn't know how to stop? Please share your perspective below.